Bartholomew Corningstone once said, "There are two things in this planet that a man fears most: women and Roblox Studio." And to master Roblox Studio, you gotta master the ways of scripting. So this video and a bunch of other ones coming your way will cover the most important scripting topics that one should focus and master to be successful in Roblox Studio, including variables, if statements, functions, events, and loads of other niche topics. Alright, you might be saying, oh, well, that's great, but why should you script in the first place? Well, all the popular games that you see on the platform require scripting in order to function. Without scripting, all you can make is a showcase game, what you are building, or a game with loads of free models, and you're probably going to get a virus. So it is a skill that can be expanded outside of Roblox into various fields of computer science and other game engines like Unity or Unreal, or you can just stick with Roblox Studio. Alright, so before we start, we need to get two windows. We can get output and script analysis. So go to the view tab in the top left corner and click on output and script analysis. So click those and you'll see them pop up in the bottom here. And I'll explain these windows later. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to scripting. So just go to server script service and insert a script right here. And you can rename it whatever you like. I'm just going to keep it as a script. And we could start. So all of these like weird services that you see here, you don't need to know these like for right now. Just focus on the script. So first of all, data types. Data types are simply just types of data that Roblox interprets. So numbers are represented as the following. They can be positive, negative, or have decimals. Strings are lines of text that are enclosed in quotation marks. And booleans are represented as true or false and can be written as the following: true or false. These three are the most important data types to understand, but in order to use these, we need to know what variables are. Alright, so variables are used to store a value that can be changed and reused later on. So in the following example, they can be written as local variable name is equal to data type. So you use this as a template. So as you can see, we got local very cool number is equal to 3 and local better number is equal to 100. So there are some rules for naming your variables. As you can see, we can't have numbers at the start. So as you can see, that's not gonna happen. Can't have that. You also can't have special characters. So you can't say better percent number, like that just not work. And finally, you can't have spaces. So no space here. Can't have a space. So these are forbidden. And whenever you're naming your variables, try to make sure that they describe whatever they're describing. As you can see, I'm not typing local foo bar is equal to 3. I'm typing very cool number to say that that's a cool number. A good practice whenever you're naming your variables is to keep it in camel case. As you can see, these are camel case. It's where the first letter of each word is capitalized except the first word. It is not a requirement though, but just get into the habit of it. If I say camel case is equal to 10. There's two words, camel and case. Camel is not capitalized, but because it's the first word, but case it is because it is the second word. And that's just how you name variables. All right, so you just declared a variable, so that's great, but what do you do with that variable? Well, you can print it out, and in the first part of the video we grab the output, and basically this output is gonna display whatever we print here. So if I say print camel case and then print very cool number, print better number, as you can see, these are gonna print the numbers that these variables are assigned to. And as you can see, it'll print 10, 3, 100. So it's not gonna print the variable name. What the so you may be asking, why is it not printing in another order than whatever you just saw in the output? Well, that's because the compiler basically goes from top to bottom. It just goes top to bottom. It doesn't go bottom to top. So if I rearrange these, so let's say I'm gonna print camel case after very cool name, it's gonna print a different result. Boom, 3, 10, 100. Also, you don't have to print or make a variable and like print it out. You can just simply just print and then put the number in and it'll print it for you. So this does not only work with numbers, it can also work with strings. As you can see, whenever you make a new script, it'll literally say print hello world. I'll make a new script, boom, hello world. Play that, and there you go. Hello world is printed. Okay, so variables are really cool, but math is even more awesome because you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide and do a lot of other things with those variables and also just the data types themselves. Adding uses a plus sign, subtracting uses a minus sign, and multiply uses a star, while divide uses a slash. And also there's a special operator called modulus, which uses a percent. And basically this just gets the remainder when dividing two numbers. So it'll print out the remainder instead of the actual division. And what I just described here are called operators. Operators, you can basically just do math of them by putting a number on the left side and putting a number on the right. So I can say local sum is equal to 3 plus 5. So this will equate to 8 because 3 plus 5 is 8. And you can print out sum, and this will print out 8. It's not going to print out 3 plus 5. It's going to print out 8. Now remember that the compiler uses order of operations like PEMDAS, or a similar saying you'd find in your math class. So you can use parentheses in order to express more complex calculations. So for example, if I want to add 3 plus 5, I'll put this in parentheses, multiply this by like 8. So with these parentheses, I am adding 3 plus 5, and then I'm gonna multiply by 8. So if I say local sum 2, 3 plus 5 times 8, no parentheses are included here. So it's gonna multiply 5 times 8, 40, and then add 3. So play this here. You can see we have a different sums here. Sum 1 is 64, sum 2 is 43. You don't have to use variables. You can just print them within these parentheses. Just say 3 plus 5, or say print 2 divided by 3, etc, etc. And I'll do another example, 10 mod 2. So yeah, these will work just as before, and you'll see we'll have different numbers here, 8 and then 0.666666660. So yeah, those are operators. You can also do operators with variables. It's the exact same thing. If I say num1 is equal to 10, I say num2 is equal to like 3, and I say print num1 times num2, it's going to print 30 because 10 times 3 is 30. So yeah, it'll print 30. I highly encourage you to like play with variables and also play with operators just to get the gist of it. Like, you may feel pretty overwhelmed by this information, but that is okay. Everyone goes through this stage, and me included. However, scripting is a skill, and just like any other skill, it takes practice. So rather than watching the tutorial and simply just copying and pasting code, learn and try to understand what that code is trying to do. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach the man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So once you think you're ready to learn more, click on this video here.